Welcome back. Now we're going to study Easy Keys and Menehune. But before we do, let me explain just a little bit. Easy Keys and Menehune use the same concepts, so therefore the same teaching concepts that we learned in Blastoff. And that's why I just spend just a little time on those two programs. They're basically going to teach your students how to read rhythms and how to find all the keys on the keyboard. And in Menehune, they're going to have some theory sheets, and they're going to also go into sharps and flats. But I'm not going to waste your time with teaching the same concepts again that I just taught in Blastoff. I just wanted to explain that. So here we go with Easy Keys. We're going to play Old Owl in the Tree. And for those of you following along in your manual, it's on page 26. And if you're using your books, it's page, what? 13. Okay, you ready? Old Owl in the Tree. And I am going to, what I would do for them is I would put a yellow star on one of their hands and color one of the notes, so they have to use both hands. Do you want me to do that visually for you? Can you see it? You can see it. Good. All right, so pretend there's a star. Don't play like this, little girls. Keep your fingers out. Okay, let's see you put your hands on the keyboard. Good. And I don't want to see you swimming. Don't go C, D, C, C, D. That's called swimming. Keep both hands over the keys and just drop the finger down that you need. Haven't you had kids do that? Or they'll put it in their lap. All right, Old Owl in the Tree. 1, 2, play. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Count out loud. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And that's our Halloween piece. So by the time they have done Easy Keys 1, they're pretty close to Halloween on Old Owl. And they just love that piece. And one child told me, she said, Mrs. Cole, on Halloween night, she told me this the next week, I went into my piano, and as the kids came up to the door, I played Old Owl. She played Old Owl for them. Wasn't that precious? They're so cute. She said, you know, I just played it for them. Now we're going to do Easy Keys 3. In Easy Keys 3, we review the keys, C, D, E. And of course, you always continue reviewing the rhythm. And now we're going to add F, G, A, B keys with using the C, D, E keys. Have you noticed that this method lays a layer of knowledge, then puts another one on top of it, and continually reviews them forever? Then you put another layer on top. Now you're continually reviewing 3 layers forever. But you know what? When they're 18, 19, 20, it's just like breathing. They will know this stuff. If you just mention it once, go to another concept, mention it once, do you see how this is just erased by most children? So hopefully you find this is a really good teaching method for your students. This is a new game. It's called Under the Sea. And one of my students many years ago, Lacey Wood, told me, Miss Cole, if you ever do a new game, it ought to be about being under the sea. Well, Lacey graduated. She's probably married, has 3 kids. And I decided one day to do a new game. And I did Under the Sea. And if you will look right here on this treasure chest, it's the SS Lacey Wood that's been sunk. And so that's for her. So thank you, Lacey, wherever you are, for that great suggestion. The kids like this. How many of you have played Under the Sea with your students? Do they enjoy it? Okay, welcome, young people. Now, these kids are 6 years old, so I'm trying to go slow enough for them to comprehend, you know, what we've previously learned. They learned the C, D, E keys, and they've just graduated out of that book. And so now they're going to learn the B key and later the A key. The most difficult two keys to teach on the keyboard are G and A. F and B are easy, and all the other keys are easy, but G and A are just horrifying. I have an older daughter that used to flip-flop those two keys. She knew to play them correctly, but she called them by the wrong names. She played them right, but called their names wrong, their letter names wrong. So that's an easy flip-flop for you. Is it for anybody else? I flip-flopped them for years as a child. I mean, she must have inherited it from me. All right, now we're going to review C, D, and E, and then we're going to learn B today. So here we go. Find me two. Do you remember learning C, D, E, honey?
I do.
At your last lesson?
Yes, I
I love your hat.
Thank you.
Oh, would you find me two C's? Would you find me two D's and one C? And one C, Angel. Thank you. Can you find me two E's and one C? Perfect. Find me two D's, one C, and one E. Almost, almost. Find the black twos. There it is. Good. All right. Incidentally, when we, from now on, I identify the black twos as dog ear 1 and dog ear 2 because of the dog ears. So we're now reviewing CDE. It looks like these little geniuses totally remember it. And now we're going to learn B. See the black threes? Oh, we haven't ever played any keys around the black threes, have we? All right. This is black key 1, 2, and 3. Now, in the lesson I'm teaching today, I've skipped around in the book just to find an interesting lesson for you. In the lesson for today, they've already learned F in another lesson. So this is just a lesson I picked out of the book. And in this lesson, they're learning B. But be assured that I teach F for some reason before I teach B, you know, one on each end. So today they're learning B. See the black threes? Beside black key 3 is B. B. Black threes first. That's what you're going to look for. And then beside black key 3 is B. Now what are you going to look for? Black keys 2 or 3?
3.
Find me a B. Are you going to look for black keys 2 or 3 if I want a B?
3.
3. Find me a B. In other words, I don't want them to say C, go backwards one key. That isn't how you find B. You find B by looking for the black threes. If I want you to find a C, would you look for black keys 2 or black keys 3? 2. Find me a C. Now find me a B. Find the threes. There it is. Good. If I wanted a black B key, would you look for the black threes or the black twos?
Black 3s.
Find me a B key. Perfect. Now find me 2 B's and 1 D. Perfect. Find me 2 B's and 1 C. Did you find this one and this one, Angel? Okay, this one is F. You want to look for 1, 2, 3. It's on this end. Now, incidentally, I'm holding this upside down, so you have to be able to read upside down. It helps if you have red hair. We can think upside down. If you don't have red hair, Tina, doesn't it work?
It works great.
See? It works? All right, find me a B key. That end, good girl. Find me a C, a D, and a B. Good. Find me an F key, because remember, they've already learned F in a previous lesson. F. A B. Good. See, I'm constantly reviewing. All right, now we're going to play the game. This is under the C. And what they're going to do is they're going to go down tentacles of this octopus, and they have to change tentacles. And they throw the die to see which tentacle they're going to start on. So if they throw a 3, they're going to start on tentacle 3. If they land on a porpoise or a dolphin, let's pretend they're on tentacle 3 and they land on a blue dolphin. They have to throw again, and let's pretend they throw a 2. They have to go to tentacle 2 and get on that blue dolphin on tentacle 2. It's an easy game, but does that make sense to you? In other words, they have to change tentacles whenever they land on a dolphin. All right, let's pretend this lady with the hat on is first, just to save a little time.
Okay.
All right, find me 1 F, 1 B, and 1 D. And she throws, and she gets a 1, and she gets on tentacle 1. Oh, excuse me. Just throw to get on your tentacles. I forgot. 1 also. She can be on the same tentacle. Okay, you throw to see which tentacle you're going to start on. And have some compassion for the people that have to lean 3 feet over. Okay. 6, and she's over here. Now we'll start the questions. All right, find me an F and a B and a D. Throw. purple dolphin, so she has to throw again to see where she's going to go. She threw a 1, so she stays where she is. She stays on the purple dolphin on tentacle 1. All right, a D, a C, a B, and an F. Now B's on one end, and that I have to turn it around, you see? F, she's right, throw. 2. Okay, find me an F, and a B, and a D. Throw. 2. So they know their rhythm. They know the keys they need to play, be able to play these pieces today, so they should have no trouble. Do you agree? Let's go to our pianos and see. Now we're going to do Bullfrog Jamboree. You can play the whole piece with one hand, but you have to use at least 2 fingers. Can't play it all with one finger. Okay, you ready? 1, 2, let's play. Most difficult measure in this piece? The next to the last one, where it goes play fast, slow, play fast, slow. You agree? All right. And I want you to start on the bottom line. Ready? Oh, where it goes C, 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 B, B, B. And I want you to play it by yourself. Go. You can do it, Jordan. I'll play it with you. Ready? Play fast, slow. Play fast, slow. Keep going. Watch your music. Slow, slow, slow. Good. Now, teachers, it's really tempting for some of these little kids for me to go C, 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 B, 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 and they just listen to what I'm saying and press down the keys, and they're not tracking. Be sure they're tracking in their music, because they'll just sit there and listen like that. And so that's a little trick they can do. I've always said if it's a little American child, they will find a little way to find a trick to get around the hard work. Aren't we clever people as a nation? So be sure you watch for that. All right, let me hear you play that last line. And you join her. Play it together. Here we go. Play fast, slow. Play fast, slow. 1, 1, 1. Hold for 2. Colleen, you join them. Everybody, these 3 play. Play fast, slow. Play fast, slow. 1, 1, 1. Hold for 2. Miss Laura, can you join them? Play. Now let's pretend. Let's just pretend that Laura's having trouble. If she was the one that was really having the trouble in the group, I'd start with her, because she would play first, then Colleen would join her, then Ann. You see, Laura would be playing it 4 times. So you find the kid that's kind of having a little trouble, and she's your first one. She doesn't know that's why you're doing that. But that gives her a chance to play it more than the other kids. All right, here you go, Miss Laura. And I'm going to slow it down. Let's pretend this is just a little fast for this group. You ready? Let's all play it with Laura. Play fast, slow. Play fast, slow. Good playing. 1, 1, 1. Hold for 2. Now let's play the whole last line together as a class about this speed. Play fast, slow. Can you try it? Let's go. Play fast, slow. Play fast, slow. 1, 1, 1. Hold for 2. You are too good. That was good, kids. All right, now if you would look at here the beat. And teachers, it's on page 28, and little students, it's on page 33. You ready? What 2 keys do you need to know for this piece? And A, B, and C. That's right. Now, I'm going to get your colored pens, and we're going to color every A with a yellow. So I want you to get your colored pen, and you're going to color every A with a yellow, or whatever color you have, teachers. But I've got some yellow markers and some green markers. All right, color all your A's. If they're old enough, they can do their own coloring. And just the A's, little sweet girls. Don't get cute and color the whole page. They'll color the pig. They'll color everything. All right, now I'm going to put that A. This is a smart group. This group is so crackerjack that they need a challenge. I'm going to put that colored A on their right hand because usually at this level they're playing A with their left hand, right? We just switched it. They're going to have to work a little bit. So you can make it a little more challenging, can't you? Well, the challenge is to get the stickers off the page of wax paper. This is just a little IQ test for the teacher. Hear the beat, and we're going to do it this speed. 1, 1, 1. Play fast. Has everybody got that yellow hand on an A key? Have you found an A key with your yellow hand? Everybody's happy? Let's go. 1, 1, 1. Play fast. Yellow A. 1, 1. Play fast. 1, 1, 1. Play fast. 1, 1, 1. Go back to the beginning. 1, 1, 1. Play fast. A. Yellow A. 1. Play fast. 1, 1. That's a B. It was me playing a G. I did that one day in class. I said, this is gosh awful. Someone won't get off the wrong key. And I looked down and I was doing it. Didn't that G sound good with it, though? You're so good. You're wonderful. All right, now then, that was 1 week's lesson. They go home. They practice. They come back. Now, what do you do? What are the 4 things you try to do at every lesson? Hear the old music, teach the new music, do the theory sheets, and play the theory game. Right, but in Easy Keys, there's not that much theory sheets, and the reason is I didn't think they could write at this age, so I didn't put in theory sheets. I may eventually come back with a theory packet that can supplement this. They do want that, yeah. All right, now, turn, because they've come back in the room. They are wonderful little students. Let's pretend I go to the keyboards first, and I say, let's hear last week's music, and they would play those 2 pieces for me. Let's pretend she has memorized it. What would she do so I could hear her without taking time away from the others? What would you suggest? Close her book and put a different sound on her keyboard. And that way you can tell that she's playing, say the harpsichord is a really good one. And that way I've heard her, but the other kids did not lose out any portion of their 45 minutes. Do not be tempted, teachers, to just teach these little... How many of you thought when you came to the seminar that group teaching was putting a bunch of kids in a room, putting headphones on them, and just walking from piano to piano? How many of you really thought that? Now, don't be shy. Yes, most people thought that. That is not group teaching. That is private lesson teaching with headphones. You're teaching private lessons. Little tiny private lessons, but those are private lessons. Group teaching is when the whole group does the same thing at one time. It's one huge child with 4 right hands and 4 left hands. And they all put their little right hand up there and play, and then they all put their little left hand up there and play. And they all count the rhythms together and play. That's group teaching. They all do it at one time. And you can see it's not that difficult, is it, to get a whole bunch of people to do it. How many of you have been group teachers with my method in the past? Raise those hands up. I'll have a little testimonial here. Is it difficult to get them to play as a unit the same thing at one time? No, it really isn't. In fact, it makes piano playing a lot more fun than by yourself. So you want all of them to be entering in, doing the same thing, working on the same thing. If it's a hard measure for Colleen, it's probably going to be a hard measure for Ann, and we're going to focus on that measure, even though Colleen doesn't know I'm working on it for her. We're just working on that hard measure. Now they come back in. Today I can arrange the music. You remember those 4 periods in any time I want, but I've decided we're going to hear last week's music first, and let's pretend I just heard it. Now we're going to teach today's music. We're going to look at Dandelions Blowing, and that's on page 37, little 4 students, still on page 29 in your instruction manual. And here's the pattern. 1, play fast. 1, 1. Clap that with me. 1, Play fast, 1, 1. How many times can we find that rhythm in here? 1, play fast, 1, 1. How many? It's in there 5 times, right. 1, play fast, 1, 1. Now, teachers, if you have a group of kids that enjoy motion, you can have them 1, step fast, 1, 1.